So I'm gonna talk louder and I might scoot closer a lot because last video I just did was perfect and it wanted to act like it couldn't hear me. So here is the shout out video, and excuse my weirdness because I know I'm recording. And yeah, here we go. Oh, you may do that here. Off quick. So shout out to Jelani Phillips, handing out food after practice instead. Taj Far and Taj Bailey, Isaac Santos, Shaya McQueen, Jonathan, Carly Rude, right? Carly, Erica, 100 cows. We want those. Ooh, yogurt man, girl. We need to put that up again. Remind me. Jalen Young, Bryce Richard. Shout out to Arnold Palmer. Okay, half lemonade, half iced tea. You know. Shout out to Megan Cole. That's not your last name. Shout out to Megan. Oh, sorry for me and you and your thigh today. That was on accident. Shout out to T and Chris and Devontae because I'm texting them. Oh, except for T minus T. I'm texting Chris and Devontae. Oh, okay, cool. Shout out to Fabian, guys. Shout out to Andre Balint and your brother David Whoop Whoop Cat. Ooh, you hear the song? Look What You Done for Drake. You know, it's old. Shout out to Drake for being real. Okay. Anyway. Shout out to Katie and her new boo boo. Shout out to Elena. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to Jermaine and Kenny. There's your video, boy. Shout out to Nikki Hihar. Shout out to Isabella Garcia. Shout out to Giselle. Shout out Giselle Guerrero and Giselle Bencourt. Shout out to Diamond. Shout out to Minnie Menace or Leslie. Shout out to Elena Harding. Shout out to Austin. Shout out to Savannah Tall Ass Flashy. Shout out to Elena Lumentot. Not Elena. Love her. Okay. Shout out to Rassier and Noah. Yeah. Oh, shout out to Tavion's little brother, Leontre. Definitely. He gets props from Stuff Talk Public. Anyway. Shout out to Michelle Wynn. Shout out to Isaiah Mello, my mega friend. Shout out to Malia Bennett. Shout out to Antoine Harrell. Shout out to Kiani Lachey Williams. Shout out to Jeannie Auden. Shout out to Adriana Wilson. Shout out to Michelle Brown. Shout out to Charlotte. Shout out to Ina. Shout out to Peter, my brother out in Pasco. Shout out to Shelly Brooks. Shout out to Shammy Jones. Shout out to Mon Johnson, who claims he's gonna beat me up but still hasn't. He's corny. Shout out to Trey Beard, Haythorne. He's corny too. Shout out to Lillian Sepulveda. I think I said that right. Shout out to Sarah Cortinez and her older sister Nikki. Shout out to Tito. Shout out to Devarier. Okay. Shout out to Jamal J. Cole, Jamali Mahal. Shout out to Samantha Altona and Tika Tika. Shout out to Dalton. Shout out to Sanjana. Shout out to Courtney Beastie. Shout out to Lisa Tutu. Shout out to Johnny Playhouse. Shout out to Cousin Amir and Cuddy Sydney. Oh, Cuddy Marcus and Cuddy Sierra. Cuddy Sierra, you know. Shout out to Reggiano, who's not going to movie no more. I'm gonna love you, boo. She's going to South Shore. I think that's what you said. Alright, shout out to the Boo Boo Tay. The Boo Boo. The Boo Tavion Williams. Shout out to Gucci Gooch, my puffball. Genesis. Shout out to Shorty P, Priya, Priscilla, or Putzi. Shout out to Trey Songs. Shout out to the Meridian Track team, who's gonna be this year. We're gonna be out there. We did that. We did really good the first meet. And you gotta check the stats that Mr. Foster sent you. But right now, out of 5 teams listed, I'm still the first for 100 and 200, and we're second for the relay. But yeah. Okay, so oh, shout out to Shawnee Fisher and Jason Garcia and Dashanae Smith. Okay. Shout out to my sister Keonti. Shout out to Amiko and Rochelle and Jameer. Shout out to Jameer. Shout out to Quentin. Shout out to Raven. Shout out to shout out to Paige. Hey Paige. Shout out to LaCoy. Shout out to my sister Janae. Shout out to Monet. Every day. Shout out to look at this picture. Alright, shout out. I was light skinned one. Shout out to my sister Jordan and Jay. As well as Evan. And my cousins Janelle. Shout out to the music industry. Couldn't do without you. Shout out to Ahmed. Shout out to Giuliano. Shout out to Romaine. Shout out to Romaine. Shout out to Jordan for making Jordans. Shout out to Miss Clark for dancing with me during 3rd period. Shout out to Meridian Middle School, even though we're weak. Okay. Shout out to Mr. Clean, aka Mr. Judd. Okay. Shout out to Pasco and all you that live there, as well as the Tri-Cities. Shout out to Isaiah Grove. Shout out to Noel Zondo. Shout out to Anna Semiego. Shout out to Leslie. Did I say Leslie? Okay, shout out to both males. I swear I'm doing this again. Shout out to my basketball picture this year. You see that? Number 3. Shout out to number 3. Shout out to Hot Cheetos. Shout out to the reproductive system. Shout out to the system, the waste system. What's that called? So you can poop and pee every day. Ooh, let me stop. Okay. Shout out to Derrick Rose. Shout out to Calvin Turner. Shout out to my brother Taryn at BYU doing his thing. Shout out to my mom in the next room. I love her. Shout out to my dad. Shout out to all my grandmas, my grandpa, shoot. Shout out to the game of life, okay? Shout out to South Center. Shout out to the Stewie pajamas I got on right now. Oh, shout out to my red walls, even though the video is black and white because I put it that way. Shout out to Facebook. So I wouldn't be doing this right now. Shout out to Tumblr. Follow me on Twitter at Sheridan_Nicole. Nicole is spelled with a K. Okay. Shout out to Living Life. Shout out to Wale. Shout out to my mom and my dad for making me so sexy. Like, I'm just joking. Shout out to all the people that have been there. Those who aren't, that's good too. Shout out to Hypebeast, you think you do your thing. Oh, shout out to all my dudes all my bros that are gonna be in Portland playing ball this weekend. You guys better do work. I better see something coming home. I don't care. Or all y'all are getting stuck in your head. Shout out to Bath and Body Works for that brown sugar big lotion. Whew, my favorite. Okay. And shout out to Victoria's Secret for panties and stuff. And the Pure Seduction and Love Spell spray. Good. Shout out to Bargain Stores. I'm not ashamed to say that I shop at Ross and TJ Maxx. Okay. And Alley Cat. Come at me again. Okay, anyway. Oh, and I get my Jordans. I get my Jordans for 60 and my Nikes for 25. Oh, okay. Thought you were cool, huh? Okay. But shout out to Nike because we just do it. Shout out to Tierra Marie. Shout out to my Touch. That is slow as ever. Shout out to this homework. Okay. That I just got done with. It's good. Okay. Alright. I'm done here. Bad chick alert. Adios. See the close?